I need to buy a 4-wheel drive truck.
And I need to buy a 4x4 truck.
We only have $3,500 to do it. All right, guys, so you know that we're on this property out here. It's about an hour away from town. Winter is coming right now, and I need to get myself a parts runner to get into town, get parts, pick up sand. I mean, all the crap that we need for our F550 conversion that we're doing right now. So it wasn't a problem for the summer because Remy was out here for the summer, but she's going back for the winter. And that means that there's no vehicle to go and get parts. So I'm not trying to buy anything expensive. I'm trying to find the cheapest 4-wheel drive little truck that I can that'll get good mileage, be reliable enough to get into town. But why do you need one?
I need one to come up here more in the winter.
You just want a cheap 4x4, don't you?
Well, yeah, there's that too.
I think that once we find these cheap 4x4s, we gotta take them out into the woods behind us. Not gonna beat on them because this is gonna be my daily, but we'll go and test them.
Yeah, we gotta do a little testing.
So here's the rules. We only have $3,500 each to find a truck that is going to run and drive. But we've been combing Facebook Marketplace for like the last week and a half. We've been sending each other pictures of all these different things. We're talking Nissans and old Jeeps. And I was looking at Isuzu, like, what was it? Isuzu Pup diesels and all sorts of little stuff.
I was looking at Suzuki Samurais.
Suzuki Samurais.
Oh, yeah.
We've been all over the board, and we think that we found 2 vehicles that are very cheap, both of them under our $3,500 budget. Let's get ready and get out there and pick these trucks up.
Should we just take the whole toolbox?
If it'll fit. All right, we're about 37 miles out to our first pickup here, all the way out in Oregon. I need 4-wheel drive to be able to get up to the property in the winter.
Do you think it's gonna make it back?
I think this one's gonna make it back. It's got high miles on it, but it's super straight. Even if I have to rebuild the motor on it in 20,000 or something, I still want it. It's a cool little truck. We set it out initially as $4,000, and we both came well underneath of that.
One of us did.
I'm at about $3,000.
That means my budget, I still have X amount of dollars that I can put into the vehicle to make it super reliable.
Mine is, it's high miles, 240,000 miles on this little thing. It looks good, it's rust free, there's no dents on the thing. Pretty much all these things, like the Tacomas were just out of the range, or like the Toyota pickups. Couldn't find anything with 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, you know what, and let me ask you guys, what is the deal with people overpricing high mileage Toyota pickups? I don't understand that. $7,000 for a $350,000 or 350,000 mile Toyota Tacoma? No, sorry.
Couldn't find anything that was 4-wheel drive with a 4-banger for $5,000 was cheap if I could find something at that range, and then it was just way more miles. Most of them are carbureted.
Should I give the people a hint of what I'm getting? It's red.
I needed a truck. Definitely was like looking at like Cherokees and stuff too because they're cheap, but I gotta have a truck. At least this one comes with a camper shell, so that'll be kind of nice. But one thing I've always wanted to, I had a Comanche when I was up in Montana. Sweet little Comanche, and they're so pricey. I found one for $5,000 up in Idaho. The thing couldn't hold a charge and had other things wrong with it, and wouldn't budge below $5,000. Just really tough to find cheap stuff, but I think this one will be good. You guys are gonna have to tell me if I got a decent deal on this thing or not. I'm still gonna have to work them a little bit when I get down there. So another one that I was looking at was the Mitsubishi Mighty Maxes. You ever heard of Mighty Max? Have you heard of the Dodge 50? No, so the Dodge 50 and Mitsubishi Mighty Max were the same trucks. Really similar to like Ford Rangers and the Mazda B series. They became the same trucks later on. Pretty much all these brands did this with the super small mini trucks. They had their other manufacturer built these things and they sold them. The one thing that I did really want to find though was back in the day, they had a lot of really small displacement diesels. So the Mitsubishi Mighty Max, I think, had like a 2.2 liter. The Isuzu Pup was a small 4-cylinder diesel. There's a lot of them out there that just small displacement diesels, and they get awesome mileage, but they're super rare. Most of those diesel engines are no good.
Have you seen the Chevy Love?
Yeah, there's a Chevy Love I was looking at.
I saw that too. I'm pretty sure it was probably the same one.
But the thing is, you can't find any of those small turbo diesels with 4-wheel drive. You have parts issues, you can't find parts for them and all that. And you get into the early 2000s Rangers and stuff, like those 4.0 V6s and stuff, that type of mileage those trucks get, I'd rather just go ahead and get a half-ton truck. It's like, what's the point of having a little truck if it's gonna get 2 miles a gallon better? Either way, we're pretty close to checking this thing out right now. We'll throw the camera back on once we get there. That's it.
Holy.
Dude, that thing's tiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived.
240,000 miles. A little Mazda B2600i, 4-cylinder, 4-wheel drive.
See what's under the hood.
It looked like they put a radiator in it. When I got
Yeah.
I did tune up, I did plugs, cap, rotor, serviced the engine, oil. Didn't really do much else to it. It ran and dry, but then the exhaust was just rotted, so I did cap back.
This thing's gonna run great all the way home.
She sounds good. No AC on this one from the factory. Yeah, fingernail isn't catching on any of them.
It's got the factory muffler back on it and the factory tailpipe. It went right into the hanger.
Oh, so you put the factory muffler back
Yeah.
on? So it is a new muffler, but it's factory muffler. Man, I don't know what you guys can see underneath here, but overall rust-wise, it looks pretty good. No leaks on the pinion seal. Shocks look good. There's that new muffler. Man, that transfer case right there, tiny little thing. That thing probably weighs 30 pounds or less. Luke, you're gonna laugh when you see the size of that transfer case.
I'm not gonna be surprised.
Little truck.
Brother.
How do you like this thing, dude?
Yeah, this thing is mint.
I haven't driven one of these little Japanese trucks.
Oh, you don't need that. You don't need that much gas.
I just gotta feel for it and learn it.
Well, you got, look, James has these giant boots on, trying to touch these little tiny freaking pedals down here.
Dude, those
Not
pedals,
ill prepared to drive the mini truck, okay?
it feels torquey enough for what it is.
Speedo doesn't work.
No, Speedo's. I guess we can find out if it has a limited slip.
Just pull over on all
All
these
right,
damn
hold on.
dirt roads.
I guess I can turn around anywhere in this thing. It's not a
No.
big ass 7.3.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez, it takes those rumble strips pretty rough, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, I think turns nice. All right, we're gonna find out if it has a limited slip or not.
Alright, I think there's a dirt
Right
road
here on the
coming up
left.
on the left. It's pretty big.
Brake
Yes,
test.
yep, right there. That's the one I was talking about.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is a good test right here. Let me hop out.
All right. Hey, do you smell burning oil?
A little bit. It might be the brakes because you got them hot.
Ready?
Give her the ketchup. Oh yeah! All right, bud. You got.
Look at that. It's got a limited slip.
So you had one wheel, the right wheel kicked, and then both of them kicked. So oh yeah, you got LSD.
All right, guys, Christmas is coming up soon, and that's when the giveaway for this 4-wheel drive camper is ending. It's a 7.3 Power Stroke, it's got 4-wheel drive, and there's a full-blown house on the back. And on January 7th, we are going to be announcing the winner. One of you is going to be driving off in this rig, and it's super easy to get yourself entered. Step 1, head over to our website, expeditionranch.com. Step 2, grab yourself a flashlight, headlamp, shirt, or whatever you like. And that's it, you're entered.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
I don't know.
What did it sound like?
Da, 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 da.
It might have been tires. Did that grab in front?
No, it wasn't grabbing at first.
It says lock now.
Okay, now
So
it's locked. You're in 4 what? 4 high?
4 high.
Are you sure you're in 4 high?
Yep. So
And then
that's
2 highs
2.
forward, yeah.
That's 4 high. That says locked.
So let's try put it back in 2. Okay, so lock's off now. And then lock on. All right. Yeah.
That's weird how it just came up though.
Huh. Well, because you haven't moved, so it probably just locked right back in again.
Okay.
All right, let's maybe not dump it.
I'm trying to get the front tires to move a little bit. Someone told me in one of the YouTube comments that all I have to do is just get on the pavement and see how hard it is to turn.
Oh, yeah,
that's
too.
not as fun.
No, it's not fun at all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, she grabs, bud. She grabs, brother. She grabbed hard. You want to test the 4 low?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah. Yep. She's up in the RPMs now. Yep. 4 low works, 4 high works.
That's 4 low.
Yeah, it works. That's for sure. Sick.
Dude, this is such a cool little truck.
Dude, this thing's gonna be great.
This is gonna be awesome. I'm so ready to jump it.
We're not jumping it.
This is my daily driver. I promise that I will not abuse this little truck.
He asked me with my vehicle that I am gonna be purchasing. He's like, so when are we gonna jump it?
It's already got dents on it.
All right, let's get you turned around.
All right, so we just got the Mazda 2600i. This thing's sweet. Kind of reminds me of why I like the big trucks, but man, these little small trucks really have their own place. And this guy George was super cool. Definitely not a sketchy seller at all like I had with the 550. 3,000 bucks even. 240,000 miles. Honestly, it shifts really well, it drives really well, straight. I think this was a good buy overall. I think this is the smallest truck I've ever owned by far. All right, so we just got done with 150 miles of the trip. This whole thing seems to be doing good, but there's definitely some issues that noticed. Let me start getting some fuel in this thing first. All the way to there, you can actually see the fuel, which is exactly what I did last time. And that was 6.42 gallons. So 156 divided by 6.42. 24 miles a gallon. Honestly, really liking these little Japanese trucks. There's definitely a couple things wrong with it. About to check the oil leak. There's an oil leak that's going underneath the transmission, and it wasn't there when I bought it, but there's evidence that there might have been one in the past. But I think because this truck was pretty much sitting for the last year, didn't really have a chance to have any blow-by. So can you guys see the underside of the transmission there? It's just covered in a light layer of oil, and I gotta find out where it's coming from. My guess is either valve covers or possibly rear main seal, but it looks like it's leaking from the top because the bell housing on both sides has oil. Another thing is that it does have a rattle in the exhaust, so that's something I gotta look at. Another thing is that this lock right here no longer unlocks the doors. Honestly though, it's about what you can expect from a truck with 240,000 miles from 1992. Honestly, a lot better than what I'd expect. I think it's been pretty well taken care of. I'm really enjoying driving this truck. So I'm gonna run into Maverick and get back on the road. Just check out these red lights. That is just cool. Brakes over here. That's all weird. Man, this gauge cluster is just cool. Do you guys see how that E kind of rolls down here? See right now it's idling really low. All right, let's go. First gear, pedal to the metal, 4 grand. 4 grand. Sorry guys, tough to hold the camera and do that. And we're at 65. Pretty sweet. I'm sitting here way up the trail that goes off above the cabin. I put it in low range and locked it, and I've just been like crawling all over the place. I'm just down a trail right now that is not wide enough for the ambulance. Dude, this thing is so much fun. This little trail here, I wouldn't go up it in the ambulance because there's no way to turn around. It's really too narrow. But with something like this, it's just go right through it. I've honestly just been crawling all around the property, going up some like little hills and stuff in low range. So right now I'm in 4 low. I'm really wondering if that's a locker right there or if that's for the hubs. I really don't know. It'd be really cool if it was an e-locker. I used to drive vehicles like this all the time, really small stuff. I've never driven a truck this small though. I had a Jeep that I grew up driving and I was so used to taking that on actual trails. And then I got a full-size pickup, got an F350, then a 550. I mean, just gotten used to really big trucks. This little thing is just reminding me, it really opens up a lot of new opportunity doing a small rig like this. The F550 build, like there's benefits to that for, you know, long-term, you know, really comfortable travel. Having that space for really everything that you need to be on the trail for 2 weeks or so. I have this idea of throwing in a 1.9 TDI diesel into something like this. They're supposed to be really good engines, but the cool thing is they make a decent amount of power and you can get 30, 35 miles a gallon with a vehicle with 33s. It'd be really sweet. Oh boy, getting some ideas here. I might have just fallen in love with small Japanese trucks. Alright, so there's a steep little hill right here. It's a good little test. We just went up it a few minutes ago. Woo! Almost killed it with my clutch work there. And this thing's so quiet too. I spent the next 30 minutes or so just kind of crawling around the hills on the property and getting used to this little truck. While Luke, on the other hand, just got let go of by the cops for going a little too fast and was dealing with some issues for his own cheap truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 1:38 in the morning. I'm still heading back to the ranch right now. James already made it back with his new truck. I was a couple hours behind him, had to take a nap. So the vehicle that I was looking to purchase, we are having issues with the title. Turns out the guy doesn't have the title in his name and it's still in the previous owner's name. It's a long, grueling process. It's something I really don't want to go through. So tomorrow, or today now, I'll be looking for another vehicle, probably a little bit closer than what we're looking at driving today. We're looking at driving another 7 hours down south, but that's not going to work out. So we're going to try to find something else within our budget, and hopefully we can do that. Catch ya.
All right, so Ventura fell through, bad title situation. So we're not picking that up. So what have you been doing all morning?
I got back to the property at 3 a.m. I stayed up till 4 on Facebook Marketplace, combing. And then I got up at 7:30 and was combing through Facebook Marketplace again for another 2 hours. It was kind of like one of those, you ever seen Spaceballs?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's like when they're out in the desert with that giant comb. The guy asked them, have you guys found anything? And they go, we ain't found shit, right? So, and that's kind of how my morning's been, but we did find something. So I found a 95 Jeep Grand Cherokee ZJ. It's got a 5.2 liter V8 in it. Kind of seems like it's going to be a decent purchase. $1,750 is what the cost
So
is.
he's going to win the cheap truck part of the challenge.
Oh yeah,
getting it a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah.
So you want to tell him what we're going to have to deal with?
Destination reached.
All right, let's check this thing out. $1,700. All right, there's Luke's cheap truck. Plastics look good. No cracks, little divot there. Thanks for letting me film, by the way. Carpet's clean. You might actually be keeping this.
Maybe.
Well, you got to figure that one out.
That's easy.
You know what happened on the inside here? There's some funky stuff with the, well, the radio and some of the electronics up there. Luke, you're gonna definitely want to get some tires, not just because of the tread, but these are, look at that. Look at the cracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're old. Find the date code on it.
94 CJ.
Well, there's your V8.
Yeah.
We got a K&N on it with, definitely want to clean that filter out. Sounds good. No ticking or anything like that. CV, boots look good. No oil leaks under there. Dripping coolant from Luke. Got a little oil leak on the side. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So we got a rear main seal issue or something along those lines up here, but it also looks like it could be running down from the front a little bit. You got oil right here for a rear main potentially. If he hasn't been driving it much, it's a decent amount. Everything we're getting seems to have rear main seal issues. Obviously that leak there. It does have a cat. Maybe this is aftermarket or something along those lines. Got a Flowmaster. No rust or anything on this thing. It's pretty clean as far as that goes. Look how tiny that axle tube is. That's ridiculous. All right, Luke. 4-wheel all-time?
Yeah, so it's all-time 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of these guys, yeah, they'll put a 231 T-case in these.
What T-case is in this?
It's a
249.
Yeah,
249. Okay.
This thing's pretty, man. They're hard to find. Oh gosh, dude, my old Jeep was a pile. This thing's way nicer. I off-roaded that 94 ZJ so hard out in the desert in Corona. Boy, every time I got out there to the fire spot, it boiled over in the coolant reservoir every single time. I just didn't care. I'd watch the temp gauge. I'd peg it to like 260.
Yeah, better than mine.
Horn blows for the driver.
So it's got a salvage title just because of this right here. Can't open the back door, but replace that. That thing's good. I think Luke might have beat me on the cheap truck challenge here. This is a lot cheaper than mine. Tires aren't so hot. Got a nail in there.
They were just ripping it non-stop, so we laid into training was like 265 and just melted the front seal, so it's puking some fluid out. But
this thing is cool. Truss axles, 4-linked, full hydro steer.
It's actually coming out in, I think, either next month or the month after in Crawl magazine.
Oh,
really?
no way.
Like he did a photo shoot in Reno, outside of Reno in Prison Hill.
Oh.
Yeah, so you'll see it.
Oh, this thing's really cool. What are these, 42? Okay. Painted the frame all nice. You sandblasted or?
No, it's just kind of worked over so many times.
Gotcha. Wait, what axle is this in the back?
14 bolt.
That's a 14?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
I deal with Dana 80s and stuff now, so it's been a while since I've seen a 14. That might be a 14 bolt. I just don't know anymore. I put a 14 bolt in my truck, but it's been years since I messed around with Chevy axles. Man, that thing's cool. What motor are you putting this?
Got an LS53 with a supercharger.
Supercharged
Sick.
5.3. All right. That thing is cool. That's really cool.
Cherokee.
All right, Luke, you ready to get back?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a long drive. Really, really, really long drive. But look, I got like a mattress topper for a seat. Okay.
Dude, this is actually way nicer than I thought. 1,700 bucks.
And it all works.
I think I just lost the cheap truck challenge.
You're done, bud.
I think this was a solid buy, man.
Yeah, honestly, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
I mean, you couldn't get any money off, but I mean, you already had it for a good deal.
It needs gas.
Okay,
Let's
well,
go get some fuel.
I'll follow you.
Yep.
Oh man, that thing's actually pretty cool. I needed a 4-banger. I needed something that got good mileage, really wanted a 4-banger. He's gonna get terrible fuel economy in that thing, but it's a pretty cool little SUV. Guess it's time to go wheeling tomorrow. Yo, heads up, you don't have a tail light on the left side, driver's side. Okay, just wanna let you know. Turn signals work. Let's just get this thing back. All right, I guess we're doing an O'Reilly stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, first fix. Tail light.
I'll give you my tools. There's a 10 mil in there. That's.
Oh no, my impact. Yeah, it's got a whole center deal up there in front of the shifter. It tells you like if the lights are out.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty neat. It's kind of like my Lexus. My Lexus does the same thing. Okay, look, everybody, just ignore what's going on back here.
Yeah.
Okay? Ignore this, ignore that. It's got a tire, that's what matters, okay?
Good.
Brake light. Oh yeah, she's cooked.
All right, I'll follow you. You're good. You got brake lights.
And
Christmas is coming up soon, and we have plenty of presents for the family that also come with the chance of winning this super awesome camper. And if you want to see the full video tour, well, we just posted that, so you can go ahead and check that out on our channel. And if you want to get yourself entered, then head over to expeditionranch.com.
All right, we just left McDonald's grabbing some food. And then Luke calls me because I left before him. He said, James, I don't have any lights. Right after he was talking about how great this little car was. No lights at all, huh?
No, it's got nothing.
I mean, you got lights on the
Yeah,
floor.
but no, I had dash lights. I've got nothing. I have no lights at all right now.
What's that sound?
It's saying it needs a service. I can hear the relay clicking down there though.
All right.
So
I guess this is where you got to learn these vehicles. I'm gonna go turn my interior light off so we can match.
Oh yeah, thanks.
That's weird. They just shut off after you're driving, huh?
Dude, and I had to turn it off. I've got voltage, that's not a problem.
Well, let's check for a fuse first.
All
right, I'm gonna go put this sweatshirt on. All right, so it's that one right there?
Yeah, that's the headlight fuse.
Dude, they did a nasty job of jumping that thing.
We gotta find an O'Reilly's or something before
All right, well,
it's blackout. We'll try that, see if that works, but I don't have anything.
I wonder why they jumped it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that's nice.
Man, that really sucks, losing his headlights as soon as it gets dark out. That one's gonna be tough to get home without getting pulled over. At least he's got brake lights. Doesn't have running lights. This is gonna be real good. Just when he thought he won Cheap Truck Challenge. Dude, there are so many people flashing their brights at you. You almost hit a median. There was a truck that almost pulled out in front of you.
Well, I was holding my high beams, and well, we were sitting at the lane, and Lady's like, ding, 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 I'm like, dude,
some woman making a left-hand turn yelled at you.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Your lights. All right, look, I get it. My piece of crap Jeep is not working. Okay.
I'm so glad it's not just me.
That fuse is for the high beams. I just looked it up.
That one up there, the one that's jumped?
Yeah.
Well, let's replace that so that way we don't.
I need a fire on the side of the road.
Yeah, we don't need a fire. So let's replace that.
I need to see if they got a multimeter I can borrow. O'Reilly's was nice enough to loan us their multimeter, so we do. Oh, there's a check in here. Whoops.
You can't see.
There's a curve there.
All right.
Now we gotta check all these fuses to see what we're getting into.
I think it could be a relay issue.
Could be, and we'll get to that in just a second, but gotta start with the basics. Alright, so all those are good. Alright, so I know all of those fuses are good to go. Alright, what we got? Relay missing?
There's this relay sitting in there, and then that right there looks like that's recently been taken out. See all the dust around it?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know, I guess we can try that fuse.
What, throwing a fuse in there and then
yeah,
relay in?
Just to see what happens, I guess.
Throw it in.
Grab fuse. Instantly pops the fuse. Somebody has definitely replaced like all of these fuses before, I can tell.
You checked it.
Hey, I got lights back!
You do?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, well, let's roll.
Let's get on the road.
Minor setback. Very minor. Alright, we got the cheap trucks back to the property. Luke, what do you have here?
We got a 1995 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Sport.
210,000 miles, salvage title. Light bulbs went out last night.
Yeah.
Bald tires, but close to bald.
Yeah, they're close.
But 1,700 bucks, not bad. I paid a little bit more for mine. This 92 Mazda B2600i, and this thing has 240,000 miles. Paid $3 grand for it, but it's a 4-cylinder, gets 24 miles to the gallon. Exactly what I need here for the property to run, get parts to the F550 build. And then, what are we doing today?
We're gonna go take them out and test their limits.
We're gonna go out to all the national forests out behind us. We're gonna go test these things, see what they can and can't do, and that'll be the next episode. So see you guys next week, Expedition Ranch.